Why do you think central bank digital currencies matter? Why are they important?
It's a very, very timely question. I mean, we started looking at CBDCs probably around 2017, 2016, before everyone knew about them. We've been working on it in the background, especially with the work around ISO. So coming from the regulator,
they've already been
working
on CBDCs,
working, within the Treasury
since
in the UK
2017,
and within the Bank of England, and running the national infrastructure. We know what it takes to run payments and what that means for citizens, consumers, businesses, wholesale, banks, etc. Why it's important is, we have an opportunity, and it's the time is now where CBDCs are an evolution of the existing money that we use, and the evolution allows us to program money in a new way. And if you look at the BIS paper on how CBDCs fit into the financial system, the famous flower picture that they have, it shows that there is room within the financial system for wholesale and retail CBDCs, and it's a way to complement cash.
You lost your color for a minute, now you black again. Yeah, I'm on a blockchain with it, and my blockchain monkeys full of octane in them. You know the vibe, plus we shredded than a motherfucker. Yeah, we crash monkeys. Yeah, we crash monkeys. It go Planet of the Apes, gorillas in a mess. All these bad rules all over my shit. It go Planet of.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the juicy part of the steak, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, Lumi Wealth, using algorithms to make investing easier and more profitable.
What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, like to thank you for coming to my jungle. And first of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give my opinion. So today, we are going back in on Quant. What are they not doing? You got ISO TC 307, Gorilla Gilbert, coming through, disrupting everything. You understand what is taking place. But before we can get started, I'm gonna need you to rub those hands together real vigorously and slide down Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in hot from Greg Lunt, we have the G20 works to solve major economic issues across the largest nations in the world. Today, they released a priorities list for the cross-border payments roadmap, and guess who is in number one? Interoperability, okay? The three overall interconnected themes that we have identified and orienting and focusing on the next phase of the roadmap are interoperability, legal, regulatory, and supervisory frameworks, cross-border data exchange, and message standards. And who created the standards? Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a possible infrastructure that is going to light the cryptocurrency space out the ass. So coming back to Greg, we already know that Raul's interoperability basket contains Quant, as he's mentioned. Quant networks multiple times on Real Vision. Take a listen to this.
Big development is people saying we'll build a layer that allows all of these things to work together. That's interoperability. It's one of the key features of the internet and what made the internet so successful. That is coming in crypto, and it's coming fast. We've seen on Real Vision Crypto things like Quant Network. These things are huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're on the ground floor. If you are getting value, I'm going to need you to smash that like button. So much so that there probably is going to be a bruise on your thumb. Okay, let's go.
Because they allow different things to move around across this ecosystem.
2022 is going to be the year of interoperability. So we're looking at Polygon, Quant, and a few other things that might give us those opportunities.
Huge shout out to Greg Lunt, slapping that heat each and every time. If you guys want to know about Quant, what is piping, you're gonna want to go over to Twitter, okay? At Greg Lunt 27. Let's go. Now, how do you expect me to contain my bullishness, okay? Hyperledger's case study on blockchain. Some highlights: world's largest public permission blockchain. You got 15 countries working with 60 plus projects, not limited to Latin, launching interoperable side chains. L2 networks, who are they speaking about that they're not actually speaking about? Okay, blockchain uses Hyperledger B-Suite to create the world's largest permission public blockchain. What do we have in front of us, ladies and gentlemen? What are we a part of? You talk about getting in at the ground floor. This is nothing. You guys are looking at this pump like, whoa, ladies and gentlemen. When Quant goes up, I'm buying up. When Quant dips, I dare Quant to dip down to $40 again and see what happens. Okay, look over here. We got more than 100 entities on the network since its launch. As of August 2022, 191 nodes deployed, more than 60 projects on the blockchain network. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 countries co-building ecosystem. What are they building around? I know they got a lot of NDAs in place, but what are we to do? Dig our paws so deep into this research that we have no choice but to succeed. Let's go, okay? The project is now building interoperable sidechains and layer 2 networks to be able to be scaled and demanded. What is going to be able to enable them and allow them to scale? Now, this coming in hot from Fast Company. I really think that cross-border payment is the next agenda, the next frontier, said Gene Pessamy, World Bank's Global Director of Finance, Competitiveness, and Innovation. Another international development priority, says Pessamy, is the use of blockchain to promote financial inclusion and faster remittance. For many business owners, exporting products is hard to entertain the idea of having to wait weeks to be paid. But that's the situation facing entrepreneurs in Latin America. It comes down to cash flow, and there's a lot of uncertainty. You can't have transparency of where your money is and how long it will take to get paid. So it's a case of wait and see for the business owner, Gilbert Verdian, founder and CEO of Quant Network. It goes on to say an ambitious project called LACchain is designed to help Latin American businesses bank better. It has the potential to be transformative, not least by increasing banking inclusion. LACchain uses blockchain and integrates it into its core banking infrastructure, enabling users to receive payments in the form of new digital Latin American dollar straight away and then redeem it as its local currency from their bank. Are you getting this, ladies and gentlemen? Real-time digital assets make getting paid instantaneous. All users need is a phone, says Gilbert Verdian. Ladies and gentlemen, Quant she's just heating up. She's just heating up. Look over here. We got 72,000. Quant is growing. Look at the wallet list, ladies and gentlemen. It just keeps on building. I think people are actually starting to see the true value in this. So in the middle of a bear market, this is going on right now. Is this decoupling? Is the use case finally being recognized here? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if that's the case, we are only just getting started. As you can see, 72K, parabolic the last 6 weeks. It just keeps on growing, ladies and gentlemen, and wait till they introduce staking. Welcome to the top 30. Quant has just flipped near to grab the 30th spot on CoinGecko. Let's go as we continue to march. Coming back to Quant Network's official Twitter, we had a valuable Sibos meeting customers, partners, and the media. As the event drew to a close, Andrew Carrier caught up with Verdian for his perspectives on the week. Take a listen.
Welcome to day 4 of Sibos, the last final day of Sibos. The conference is all but wrapped up. People are milling out of the exhibition hall as we speak, and you join us outside the main conference center here in Amsterdam. I'm here with Quant founder and CEO Gilbert Verdian. Gilbert, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew.
How are you feeling?
It's been an amazing week. It's been long, but very fruitful, definitely.
Well, I think of all the Quant team, you've probably had the busiest week because you've been out talking to clients and to partners, but also to the media, and hopefully you found some time to go to a few sessions at least.
Yes,
Good.
definitely. No, we packed it all in and we did a good job of it.
So what's the big challenge? Like, of all of the industry challenges that you've heard about this week, what for you, what's the one that you take away as the biggest, most important thing that this industry needs to tackle?
Yeah, I think banking and financial services are in the middle of a transformation. ISO 222 is top of mind.
ISO, baby, that's banks and the patents. Uphold for the crypto, link 2 for the
The
Kraken.
second thing that's front of mind is blockchain. And we keep hearing it over and over again from vendors, from the banks itself, from central banks saying, we want blockchain, we need digital assets, we need CBDCs, and we can help. And I think what we've kept hearing is the biggest
They're asking for it, ladies and gentlemen.
challenge is interoperability, and they've said it time and time again. We want to implement it, but we need it to be interoperable. We don't know how to do it. We need the industry to solve it, and that's where we've come in, and we've solved that problem since 2018.
Okay. Best idea you've heard all week. And it could be in a conference session, could be in conversations that you've had, just the thing that will stick in your mind you take away from this conference.
I think one of the things that surprised me was how ahead capital markets have been, especially with digital assets. And for them, it's a new asset class. They really are equipped to issue any type of digital asset because they've done so many for hundreds of years. And what's amazing is their thinking is, this is not a nice to have, this is not an innovation thing. We have to implement it, and we will. And if not, they've already done it. So,
Did you get that, ladies and gentlemen? We have to. They have no choice. Let's go.
And they've got the customer demand as well.
And they've got their customers asking for this. Yeah, and one of the things that was surprising was they've actually tokenized assets. They're well ahead. They have a roadmap to do more. They're starting to offer institutions access to, firstly, crypto, because it's an easy asset class to test, and then there's a need for it. Their customers are wanting to invest to get the best return, and that's one of the returns they've seen. And then finally, they're expanding that offering from custody to transaction and trade to other things on top of their institutional offering, which is amazing because Sibos 2019, when we were there, that was not even on anyone's agenda. And
do you see the progressions here?
In the last few years, that's front of mind right now for capital markets.
And so before we head out, I'm gonna leave you with this extremely informative. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to Finextra TV. We're here at Sibos 2022 in Amsterdam. Kindly joining me now in the studio to discuss digital assets is Gilbert Verdian, CEO and founder of Quant. Gilbert, thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Really good to have you on and talking about a massive topic, one that's going to be covered a lot at Sibos. And what we're hearing, walking around the exhibition floor, is the question, what needs to happen for digital assets to gain traction within institutions? So let's start there.
I think digital assets have had a very interesting journey to get here. They were an unknown thing, but now we've seen the traction and the adoption by institutions led by regulation. Mm-hmm. And digital assets are an evolution of the way we're actually conducting financial services. So we've seen different pilots and use cases of people testing financial services testing digital mm-hmm. assets. But what we're seeing now is the real world implementation within different types of asset classes, different forms of money in terms of central bank digital currency, and different types of institutions using it differently. So what is it going to take? I think personally, good regulation, and we're seeing harmonized regulation come in. We are seeing different regions across the world endorsing the use of different types of digital assets for their domestic and institutional clientele or customers. Sure. And what we're seeing is the benefits it's bringing. And it's really down to benefits to the consumer, down to benefits to businesses, and what digital assets can do for them.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you very much for bringing us up to date there. And I think it's fair to say crypto and stablecoin might have not had the bestest of years. So tell us, what do you think the role of digital money has in the B2B space, and what does successful implementation look like?
Well, what we're seeing is digital assets take many forms, and one of them are crypto assets and stablecoins, and not all stablecoins are the same. What we've seen is speculative type of stablecoins, which are algorithmic and not really backed by different types of assets that are trusted or stable. And we've seen a lot of use and misuse of that type of asset, which has led to crashes within that market. But having said that, what we actually need to focus on is the institutional use of a payment using a digital asset. So a commercial stablecoin, which is issued by a bank, it's backed by collateral, and you can use it interchangeably. It's interoperable. Mm-hmm. You can use it across board.
Hello, do you see where this fellow's mind is at? Do you see where we're at in this space, ladies and gentlemen? For any of those people that are here listening to Quant, about Quant for the very first time, I highly suggest you do some deep research on this thing. It is absolutely amazing. No financial advice whatsoever. But as it dips, the blockchain monkeys are coming to scoop.
Orders, and then it's actually settled and collated back to the bank, to the central bank. And what that will do is really allow new forms of money to exist. It's a digital dollar, a digital pound, a digital euro for consumers to be able to conduct automation, have better privacy protection, and using a new form of money gives us a way to do things which we couldn't do before. So we're seeing that being developed, and in the future, what we'll have is multiple jurisdictions having different forms of commercial stablecoins, which are all regulated as money. interoperating within their jurisdiction, but then cross-border for various use cases.
That's right, and we're seeing a lot of adoption around digital currencies amongst the central banks, aren't we? But tell us, how are you seeing that happen, and what are some of the benefits involved with that?
What we're seeing is a phenomenal take-up of CBDCs. If you look at the stats today, 105 central banks are actively working or implementing different types of CBDCs, and there's retail and then there's wholesale.
Ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to like some of the things that are going on in this space, but you do have a responsibility to capitalize on it. Let's go.
What that means is that the regulation has allowed them to take that step. So they are actively looking at the benefits, having cash, commercial money and central bank money working within the financial system. And what does that mean from a policy perspective? Well, it means greater visibility. They can understand risk, so we don't have another financial crisis. What does it mean to the consumer? Better protection in terms of disbursements. You can actually spend central bank money that's backed by the central bank as government payments. You can actually use it for various use cases that are wholesale. You can settle easily between counterparties using central bank money rather than going through multiple steps and checks which take a long time. So the benefits that it brings is interoperability, privacy, and accelerated forms of digital money, which you can actually do really innovative use cases and automate complex payment flows.
Well, I'm sure we could speak for a lot longer on this topic. It's a really fascinating one, but I'm going to let you get back to the event and continue these discussions with other delegates. But Gilbert, thank you very much for sharing your insights today. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Cause it's gorillas in the jungle. Sunny Lou, they rockin' with me. Oh, they feeling me. ODL, that's the order, man. Liquidity. Hey, Wall Street, we got what you need. I love a crypto liquidity. Blockchain, blockchain. Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respecting elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain, blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain. Blockchain.